my name's Emily Feenan and I am the Returning Officer for Derby City Council. What are whole council elections? Derby City Council is made up of 51 councillors. We've elected our councillors in thirds. That means that we have elections 3 out of 4 years, with 17 councillors elected at each election. This year it's going to be different. The whole council is up for election, so it's a real opportunity to shape what the council looks like. What this also means is there won't be elections in the city for the local council for another 4 years, so our next whole council elections won't be until May 2027. Why should I vote? The whole council elections mean this is an opportunity for you to really influence the future of Derby City Council. This is your opportunity to have your say on what Derby City Council looks like and what the policy of the council will be for the next 4 years. What you pay as your council tax, housing policy, environmental policy, planning, regeneration, children's social services and adult social care, and many, many other things. When you vote, you get to influence what happens in all of those areas. What's happened to the wards? In election terms, Derby City has been divided into 17 wards for 20 years. Each of those 17 wards represented by 3 local councillors. In 2022, the Electoral Commission carried out a boundary review for Derby City. So wards have now got different names, different boundaries, and you may now live in a different ward to the one that you lived in previously, even though you haven't actually moved house. In addition, not all the wards now have 3 councillors. So the council will still have 51 councillors on it, but those councillors will be spread across 18 different wards. 15 of those wards will still be represented by 3 councillors, but 3 will now be just 2 councillor wards instead. Will my ballot paper look different with all the changes? Because we have whole council elections this year, the ballot paper will be much longer than normal. Instead of there being the normal 4 or 5 candidates, most of the main political parties will be putting forward multiple candidates for each ward. That means your ballot paper will look lots longer this year, with lots more choice. Do I need to take anything to the polling station? The law has changed, and from the local elections on the 4th of May this year, in order to vote in person at a polling station, you will need to bring photographic ID with you. There's a prescribed list of what forms of ID are acceptable, and that can be found either on Derby City Council's website or on the gov.uk website, where you can find all the information you will need on what are acceptable forms of ID. The process for postal votes hasn't changed, and if you haven't got ID, one option would be to apply for a postal vote. If you vote by proxy, your proxy will need to take their own photographic ID with them to the polling station on polling day. What can I do if I don't have ID? It's more than likely that you have got an acceptable form of ID at home. You can check the list on the gov.uk website. If, having checked the list, you discover that you haven't got an acceptable form of photo ID, don't worry. There's still plenty of time to apply for a special form of identification just for these elections. The last day to apply for a voter authority certificate is the 25th of April. Voting in the local elections 2023 really is important with all the changes for Derby City Council. I really hope that you're able to vote on the 4th of May, and to make sure you're able to do so, please check you're registered to vote, check you've got the right form of photo ID, or apply for a postal vote. If you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact the elections team at Derby City Council, and otherwise I hope that you find voting on the 4th of May an easy experience.